Hey everyone, so I'm back again with another video. This one is for spiritual guidance for 2021, and I'm going to be doing a little bit of tarot, a little bit of astrology, and a lot of bit of my own intuition, and just being a vessel for spirit to work through. And let's get started. So I'm doing a different format with my videos this year. Let me know you guys' feedback. Let me know if it's just like a thumbs up or a thumbs down. Just basically trying to play with the new, different thing for the new year, and hopefully, if this works out pretty good, we can just keep rocking with this. But if not, we can always switch it up, and I'm just open to wherever spirit will take me. All right, so enough about that. Let's get started with the reading. All right, so next slide. Okay, so I drew a couple of cards. The first card that I drew, so basically what I did is I drew the cards, and now I'm going to put them up in a nice little presentation format and tell you what messages came through. I wrote down some key points that are going to come up. So that's going to give you overall, but I will be adding in my own messages if anything else comes through while I'm recording this. So first card that came up, the full reverse. So that's the actual card that came up. Okay, so this card is meant to be signify or symbolize the overall theme for the year 2021. So it's related to the sign of Aquarius and Uranus. And coincidentally enough, there's just several planets that are transiting Aquarius in late January, February. Those are Mercury, Jupiter, Saturn, Sun, Pluto, Venus. So I just found it pretty interesting that back in December when they had the whole Jupiter Saturn conjunction around Christmas time, and people were talking about, oh, it's the age of Aquarius, age of Aquarius. Well, that's kind of going to be like the pretty much overall vibe of this year is a lot of Aquarian themes, and when people say Age of Aquarius or start talking about all that stuff, you got to look at the good and the bad. And I don't like to use the terms good or bad because everything is connected. You know what I'm saying? Like the yin and the yang, you can't have darkness without the light. So yeah, so one of the good things about Aquarius is about, technology, innovation, uniqueness, creativity, humanitarianism. And then some of the bad things about Aquarius is, you know, um, people get caught up in mob rule. People can get caught up in cults, and it's like the misinformation gets put out into the internet, and you have people living in their bubbles, and what I'm saying, kind of like what we've been seeing for a while now. So when you look at Aquarius, or people start you know like having these like blinders, so, oh, age of Aquarius and everything's going to be peace and utopia, blah blah blah. It's like, nah, no, look at the other side of the coin. There's two sides of the coin, so you gotta look at everything all together. All right. So next point. So yeah, so the full reverse here can be tends to be about, it's if you can look at the card itself, it says it shows a young person, and they're basically had their head in the sky, and they're not looking where they're going, and it looks like they're about to walk off a cliff, and you see that there's like a white dog there that's trying to warn them. Let's see here. So yeah, so you see the white dog here that's like trying to like, it's either like following them or trying to warn them, or bark and say, hey, you're about to walk off a cliff, look where you're going. So yeah, so what I wrote here is that it's disregarding the repercussions of your actions, being reckless and inconsiderate. So this is so that's basically what this is saying. Like before, if if it's upright, then it's more like 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 naivete, like youthful, wanderlust type of thing, like kind of like, going wherever the path takes you. But before, but now, I'm sorry, in the reverse position, it's more like, well, I don't care the consequences. I'm living for the day, and I'm going to get what I want, and damn everybody else. That type of mentality. So that's and this is yeah. So this is the overall uh year of 2021. Okay, next one. So again, like I was saying before, living in the moment or in fear and not planning for the future, feeling restricted, reluctant to embrace new beginnings, new horizons, step out on faith due to loss of hope and loss of faith. So it's saying that a lot of the energy that's going to be in the ethers throughout 2021 is this feeling of fear. People are going to be in fear. The pandemic is going on, and there's lots of fear about that, lots of grief, lots of like hopelessness, lots of people like confined, and they want to, they're tired of being stuck in quarantine, tired of lockdowns, tired of, not having a quote unquote normal life, or wanting things to go back to normal. And a lot of people are gonna either be acting out on fear, like being reckless, like, oh, I don't care, I'm gonna go out and not wear a mask because I'm just tired of, the quarantine, and tired of being restricted. So people are going to be doing a lot of things that are kind of reckless, but again, it's like they're fearful at the same time. So it's like, oh, well, the hell with it, I'm going to do it anyway. I'm just tired of being confined in the house. I'm tired of living in fear. And yeah, so it's like people are really going this year as a collective, our society is really going to have to deal with, how we deal with one another, how we deal with ourselves, because a lot of times those people that find it hard to, be by themselves and have that alone time, it's usually because they're trying to run away from something in their subconscious, or trying to run away from from something else. So they need to, you know, need a distraction to not deal with whatever's going on the inside of them. So yeah, so that's going to be coming up more throughout this year. Um, let's go on to the next card. All right, next card. Second card, Ten of Cups. So this is basically where we start breaking down into like the different quarters of the year. So Ten of Cups is this card. This card I drew here. So this is for January, February, March. Okay, so this card carries Mars and Pisces energy. So this is about yeah, so madly pursuing my dreams. So like I was saying before, so a lot of people are going to be fearful. They're going to be like really worried about what's going on as far as the pandemic, and as far as like a lot of um they want a return to the way things were before the pandemic, and not having, there's going to be two different mind states of people. They're going to have those people that want things to go back to the way they were, and there's going to be another um, mindset of people out there that are like, well, this is our new normal, so we need to adjust and adapt, and make the best of it, and not be angry about the loss of, before. If I guess if I'm trying to find the right words. But in this case, people are really going to start looking around and saying, okay, well, we are, what do I want? Like what, like really trying to make lemonade out of lemons, not lemons out of lemonade. Okay, so they're gonna be like, well, what can I do now so that we all, like, the next generation can, not make it better for the next generation, and not pass down, you know the mess that we're in now to them. A lot of people are really going to start thinking about families, thinking about, you know taking care of home, yeah, the stimulus, taking, like I said, taking care of home and families, legacy, and so we may get a stimulus. There's going to be a lot more stimulus, a lot more things being done, in the United States as far as taking taking care of people. You know, I definitely, when I was drawing the cards, I definitely heard the word stimulus in my head. But there's going to be other things too. There's going to be like a lot of things that are going to get done pretty quickly as far as responding to the needs of the pandemic and helping people um, stay on their feet and keep their homes afloat. And a lot of things that are going to be done in 2021 that are going to benefit future generations and not only the United States but the world as a whole. Because the world kind of holds the United States up into this like beacon of light on the hill. Well, I'm not sure about so much now, but whatever. I digress. Okay, and like I said before, future minded, thinking about the future and what we pass on to future generations. And so there's going to be a new renewed sense of optimism with these new, uh, not only with the stimulus, but these new laws and programs that are going to be enacted. Um, yeah, like I said, people are going to really benefit from these things, and as like I said, future generations as well. All right, next card, third card, the Hermit. All right, so there's the card that I drew. All right, so this is for second quarter of 2021, April, May, and June. Okay, so this card carries Virgo and Mercury energy. Okay, so again, like I was saying before, the pandemic, physical isolation, solitude, lockdowns, quarantines, and coronavirus. So I got the feeling when I drew this card that there would be another lockdown, there would be another quarantine, not for a long time, say maybe a couple months during 2021. So yeah, so again, a lot of people are going to uh, have to look within themselves, do a lot of soul searching, do a lot of journaling, focusing on the self, spiritual growth. And there's also going to be looking a lot of, as a society, we're going to be looking at systems and institutions that are no longer serving us and looking at ways of reforming and improving them. So I did also see that. With this new administration coming in, I do see that there is going to be pretty progressive, and there's going to be a time for them to really get a lot of things done and make up for lost times. So there's some good things with that. But again, like I was saying before, at the other cards, a lot of people are really gonna not enjoy this period of lockdowns and quarantines that are coming up this year because you know we like bombarded with distractions, and a lot of people are looking for things to distract them from working on, the emotional, mental, and psychological and spiritual wounds that they're dealing with. So when you force those people to say, hey, you can't go out to the bar, you can't do this, you can't do that, or, you know, then you're going to get, there's going to be a reaction to that. So I do see that happening. And yeah, I do. Yeah, so that's what my main concern is when I pull these cards is the reaction to the few people that are not going to they're going to put their selfishly put their needs above the greater good of the whole. So yeah. Okay, so this one when I got this comparing the Fool with the card that we got earlier, the Fool reverse with the Hermit. So it's the Fool, it's the younger person that's going out into the world versus the Hermit, which is the wiser, mature, older person that's taking time to make sense of it all and evaluate the rest. So it's kind of like a come to Jesus moment, basically. And what that basically is that 2021 is really going to be a time for people to look at themselves and look at what's going on and say, listen, are we going to work for the greater good, or are we going to put our own selfish needs and motives ahead of everyone else. Like I was saying before, like it's sort of like, I'm in the United States, so it's like from speaking from someone that lives in the United States, but it's sort of like looking like the past 4 years and kind of coming to terms with, wow, this really happened, and look at this, and we're kind of taking a step back and saying, okay, you know what, this is where we were, and where do we want to go from this point forward. Okay, so next card here. All right, fourth card, the King of Cups reverse. So that's the. All right, so this is for third quarter of 2021, July, August, and September. Okay, so this card carries Sun and Scorpio energy. Okay, and it also carries Mars and Scorpio energy. So yeah, so you don't know, Scorpio is a water sign, so there's like it's a pretty powerful card, and it's usually it's a King of Cups, so most people put that with a masculine identification, but it doesn't have to be man or woman. You know, the energy is doesn't have a gender. Okay, so this card is about remaining calm in the midst of a storm. Okay, so remember I was talking about before about the people that are putting their own needs, their own selfish needs and things above the greater good of you know the whole. So again, there's going to be, like I said, there's going to be a reaction to it. There's going to be emotional triggers and provocations, and when I picked out this card, and this part in particular, when I was writing this, I saw, President, well, he's president-elect now. I'm recording this on January 12th, so he's president-elect now. But by the time this comes out, he probably will be president. Joe Biden, again, he's going to be someone that's going to be like the King of Cups here. He's going to be providing emotional balance, tenacity, resilience, compassion, sensitivity. So he is really going to be someone that, is kind of going to guide the nation. Like he cares. Like he's really like someone that's going to look at, the numbers of people that are in hospitals right now, the people that are, affected by the virus and the pandemic, and he's really going to be moved by that. So he's really going to be someone that's going to do things to help for the greater good, and to help our country, and ultimately help the entire global community. Okay, but it's not going to be easy for him. It's not, because it's reversed here. So yeah, he's not gonna. It's not gonna be a cakewalk. I'll tell you that. And I bet you behind closed doors, he's probably gonna be letting out a few cuss words and things that he really can't say on camera. But yeah, so this is you know, so this is what I'm getting from this card here. All right, next card. Oh, I'm sorry. One more thing. I almost forgot the Serenity Prayer. So this, when I read the cards and pull up, sometimes I'll hear things, or I'll hear music, I'll smell things, I'll feel emotions. Things that one of the things that came up when I pulled this card up was the Serenity Prayer. And if you're not familiar with it, it's well, I'll show you. It's on the next slide. So let's take a look at that. So God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and wisdom to know the difference. Okay, so I immediately saw in my third eye a vision of Joe Biden saying this prayer, or someone saying this prayer around him, and I chose to include it in the video because it just seemed like a perfect. Well, not only did I see it in my third eye, but it just seemed like a perfect way to kind of, get us through what I felt going on in 2021. Like things may seem rough, and things may feel like, there's no hope, and it's confusing, and unstable time, but we can kind of get through it. So, all right, next card. Fifth card, Four of Wands. All right, so that's where it is. So this card represents the end of 2021. From October, November, December. It carries Venus and Aries energy. So again, this is about celebrations, like you finally achieve something, achieve the goal, and we're celebrating, we're happy, so things like weddings, family reunions, celebrations, parties, you know. So when I pulled this card, I really felt like we were going to get some good news by this period, October, November, December, about the pandemic. Um, maybe the quarantine will be lifted, maybe the lockdowns will be lifted. We'll see maybe we'll see some progress with as far as the vaccines are concerned. Um, so it's I got a lot of good energy when I pulled this card. So I'm really looking forward to the end of 2021 because it feels like it's going to be a time for celebration, and it's going to be a different vibe in the air. A lot of lighter, and not as intense, not we're just finally gonna see a turnaround to what we've been seeing, especially in terms of this pandemic. Okay, like I said before, a period of happiness, balance, and stability. Like I said, in the card, there's four staffs here. So you have one, two, three, four. Four staffs, four wands. People use those terms interchangeably. And number four represents stability and foundation in numerology. So this will be like a good. I feel like by New Year's 2021 going into 2022, like it's gonna be a lot of a happier time. So yeah, I'm looking forward to. I get energy just looking at the card right now. Okay, next card. Sixth card. Honor your beauty. Okay, so this is an angel oracle card that I pulled up. So it says, honor your beauty, Archangel Jophiel. Thank you, Jophiel, for helping me discover my inner and outer beauty. Okay, so this is the angel card for 2021. So it depicts Archangel Jophiel, or Dina, some people like to call. And they said, so it says the guardian angel of the sign of Libra. So shout out to all you Libras out there. It carries Saturn and Jupiter energy. It's usually portrayed in a feminine form, and the name means beauty of God or divine beauty. It's also known as Zaphiel, which means spy of God or watchman of God, also known as Zeria, which is my rock is God, and it's also associated with the color yellow, which is interesting because Pantone, which is this really big institute that I guess put it in layman's terms, they come up with all the colors and trending colors and things that a lot of the fashion industry and a lot of all these different industries kind of take guidance from. Their color for 2001 is ultimate gray and illuminating, and I'll go on more about that. But when I got pulled this card initially, so it's talking about beauty. Remember I said before about a lot of people in fear, a lot of people just kind of giving up hope, feeling like losing faith, things like that. So this card came up, and it's the instant feeling I got is just being reminded of the beauty around you, like looking for God everywhere that you are. You know what I mean? And it's all about your perspective. If you want to focus on how ugly and dreary and gloomy things are, then that's more you're going to see more of that. You're going to see more ugliness, you're going to see more gloom, you're going to see more, you know, fear and dread. But if you want to look at the beautiful things, which if you want to look at things that inspire you, things that motivate you, things that empower you, like being careful of what you expose yourself to when you go on the internet. Are you, getting into bubbles of, you know, misinformation and hate speech and all these different things. Are you going to fellowshipping with people that are positive minded? They have positive vibrations and they support you, and they lift you up. Or are you doing things that emulate beauty? Like being charitable. Give some, like, encouraging people to being a good shoulder to lean on. It's like, yeah. So it's just like a reminder of finding your light, your power within yourself, and shining that out into the world. So I know that sounds cheesy, but I mean, that's true. All right, let's take a look here. So, yeah, like I was saying before, confronting our own personal challenges with renewed clarity and innovation. Okay, facing our problems with divine illumination. That goes back to what I was saying before about your perspective on things, and choosing to see the good or choosing to see the bad in everything. So, okay, and like I said before, people finding the light within themselves, being in, people finding the light within themselves, inspired by seeing the beauty around them. So, yeah, so it's like I get the sense that 2021 we're going to see a lot of good music, and it's going to be a lot of inspirational music and things, in the arts. Those are going to be uh, big as well. A lot of movies that are going to really inspire people, and not anything that's religious per se, but more like get people to start being empathetic. This empathy is going to be a big word for this big big thing this year. It's compassion. Those things that and that's another word that comes to mind when I think about this year. So, yeah, so be on the lookout for some good music this year, some good movies, good things coming up as far as like lifting the spirits of people, helping people, empower themselves and find their own inner beauty within themselves. Okay, and I just wanted to touch on this real quick because it's another thing that stood out to me. So this is the color Ultimating. This is the color of the year for 2021 from Pantone, and this is Ultimate Gray. Okay, so I just found this quote from Lori Pressman, the vice president of the Pantone Color Institute. So she says here, it's a combination that speaks to the resilience, the optimism, and hope and positivity that we need as we reset, renew, reimagine, and reinvent. So, yeah, so just a little food for thought about the two colors, and the fact that Zafiel is associated with the color yellow. So, it's just something about, I don't believe in coincidences. So, yeah, it's just interesting that angel card came up. So, anyways, next card. All right. All right, so the conclusion. So, just a little brief summary of everything that we talked about so far. Fear versus faith. 2021 may start off feeling like 2020 part two, but remain optimistic. It is always darkest before the dawn. Okay? Resilience. The world may seem like an unsafe place. Do not be afraid, as adversity and challenges may be a catalyst for something better. All right, and last one. Finding the light. The global pandemic provides us an opportunity to see the light in the world where we have seen so much darkness. Where you can see the beauty of God's light in yourself, you can better see it in others and throughout the world. Realize we are abundant to, I'm sorry, realize we are all bound to one another by divine light and love. Okay? So, self-explanatory. All right. So, thank you so much for watching my video. I hope you guys like this new format that I'm trying out. Comment below. Let me know. Give me some feedback. Please click the like button if this video resonated with you. please hit that like button. Also, if you didn't like the video and you want to let me know how much you didn't like it, hit that like button, the thumbs up one at the bottom of the screen there, and subscribe to the channel so that you can be updated with the latest videos that when they come out. I'm going to try. That's my goal for 2021 is to be able to put out one video every week. Um, I've just got a lot of stuff going on in personal life, and yeah, I'm working on it. I'm a work in progress, so I appreciate your patience and understanding. Okay. Also, I put down my social media info, so if you want to follow me there, I'm always posting stuff on there, little quotes of the day every on a daily basis, and yeah, follow me there, Instagram, Twitter, and thank you so much. And may 2021 be find you with all of the blessings and everything go. I'm sending you all the most positive of vibrations. All of you watching this right now, or whenever you're watching it, I send you all of the love and positive vibrations to you, so that 2021 is the best year for you and yours. Thank you so much. Take care of yourselves and each other. Have a nice one. Bye bye.